Chapter 1. The Whispers in the Burrows. The stench of the burrows hung thick in the air, a heady mixture of warpstone fumes, decaying flesh, and the acrid tang of fierce sweat. Queek Headtaker sniffed the air, his snout twitching as he stalked through the tunnels. The clattering of claws and the hissing whispers of lesser Skaven filled his ears. Their fear was palpable, rightly so. Queek was in no mood for failure, least of all his underlings. The Council of 13 had summoned him to their chamber, a rare honor, and, more importantly, a chance to prove why Queek Headtaker was the greatest warlord in the Under Empire. He'd skittered back to his chambers, clutching the orders they'd hissed at him, already scheming how to make the mission his own. Musillon, Queek spat, his tail lashing. Rot sick, weak city of man-things. No glory there. But as he said the words aloud, his eyes gleamed. Musillon wasn't just some decayed human cesspool. It was a land of power waiting to be claimed. The man-thing's superstitions would break like dry bone beneath his claws. Their shiny armored knights would make fine trophies for his growing collection. Scritch, Queek's reluctant advisor, dared to approach. Queek, great warlord. Spies have returned. Say Musillon weak, ripe for taking. Noble man-things fight each other. Peasants starve. City dies slow. Queek turned with a snarl, hefting his jagged warpstone axe. Yes, I already knew this, stupid fool. I am Queek, the greatest. Tell me something new, or lose your tail. Scritch recoiled, chittering nervously. Yes. Spies say nobles in Musillon still cling to old ways. Knights, grail, fools. They think hope their lady saves them. Skaven poison has spread. Queek. It is ready for your claws. The notion amused Queek. Man-things always hoped their gods would protect them. They prayed and fought for their false faiths. It would make breaking them all the sweeter. The burrows were alive with activity as Queek's warbands assembled. Engineers tinkered with warp lightning cannons, plague priests brewed pestilences, and a legion of chittering warriors sharpened their rusted blades. Among them Queek loomed, pacing and barking orders. You will follow Queek. We are not like other Skaven. We are the strongest, yes. Musillon will fall. Its knights will die squeal. Queek's name will echo across the Under Empire. The assembled Skaven hissed and chittered in agreement, though Queek could smell their fear. Fear was good, it kept them obedient. But any thoughts of rebellion, Queek would carve those thoughts out of their skulls. As the warbands prepared to march, Queek paced his chamber, his tail lashing with anticipation. The plan was simple: sabotage, plague, and terror. Musillon would collapse under its own rot, and Queek would claim it as his throne. The Council of 13 thought they were sending him to destabilize Bretonnia, but Queek had other ideas. Musillon would not just be another conquest for the Under Empire. It would be Queek's domain, his base of power. He snarled at the reflection of his scarred face in a cracked shard of warpstone. The man-things in shiny armor think they are strong. Queek will show them. Their grail will shatter. Their lady will flee. Queek's claws dug into the warpstone shard, his blood-streaked grin reflecting back at him. March. Musillon will tremble before Queek Headtaker. And so, with his warbands surging behind him, Queek set his sights on the rotting lands of Musillon, his jagged axe glinting in the dim green light of the tunnels. Chapter 2. Rotten Riches. The dank air of Musillon's sewers clung to Queek's fur, a mix of filth and rot that made even the foul burrows of Skaven blight seem clean by comparison. Queek's nose twitched in irritation. Disgusting, he spat, kicking a slimy rat carcass into the sluggish flow of muck below. This place stinks of failure. No glory in dead things or weak man-things. Behind him, a throng of nervous Skaven chittered as they trailed their warlord through the labyrinth of tunnels. Torchlight flickered off the slime-coated walls, and every so often, the sound of distant scratching echoed from above. Skaven scouts scurried back and forth, bringing reports to Scritch, who always managed to shuffle just behind Queek, careful not to draw too much attention. Scritch shuffled forward, tail dragging nervously. Queek, great warlord. Scouts have found things. Big houses above, empty, rotting. Nobles, dead or hiding. Queek lashed out with his tail, sending the cringing underling sprawling into a pile of filth. Of course. Queek already knows this full thing. Tell me something useful, or I will add your head to my collection. Scritch scrambled up, trembling. Why, yes. Peasants fight, nobles above. No love for knights, no food for them. Undead crawl in shadows. All things crumble. Queek. Easy for the taking. Queek grinned wickedly, baring his blood-stained teeth. The nobility was fractured, the peasants starving, and the cursed undead merely another nuisance. This was what he wanted. The city above was ripe for the claws of the Skaven. In the depths of the sewers, warlock engineers were already at work. Their whirring devices pumped toxins into Musillon's wells, spreading disease and death among the man-things. Plague priests murmured blasphemies over bubbling cauldrons, releasing clouds of pestilence into the city's crumbling streets. Queek watched their work with satisfaction. Man-things weak. Break them before we strike, he growled to his assembled warlords. No need for glory yet. Let them tear each other apart first. Skaven sabotage was already bearing fruit. Above, Queek's scouts reported increasing chaos, peasants rioting against the nobles and knights, who struggled to maintain order. Perfect. Let them exhaust themselves before facing the might of Queek Headtaker. As Queek and his retinue pushed deeper into the sewers, they stumbled upon ruins older than even Musillon itself. Ancient stone carvings glowed faintly with sickly light, and the air grew colder with every step. Queek's claws tightened around his axe as a low moaning echoed through the tunnels. Suddenly, shambling figures emerged from the shadows, their flesh hanging in tatters and their eyes glowing with an unnatural green light. Undead guardians, long forgotten in this dark, festering place. Queek snarled, his eyes alight with fury. Stupid, slow, dead things. You think you can stop Queek? He charged forward, his axe swinging in deadly arcs. His blows shattered bone and severed rotting limbs with ease. The undead were relentless, but their sluggish movements were no match for Queek's speed and ferocity. Behind him, his warriors hesitated, reluctant to engage the unnatural foes. Queek turned on them with a roar. Fight, cowards, or Queek will kill you himself. The clash was brief but violent. The undead crumbled under Queek's might, and he stood triumphant, sneering at their remains. Worthless dead things. Nothing to Queek. Man-things are the real prize. Reports from above confirmed the chaos spreading through Musillon. Knights were abandoning their patrols to deal with riots, while peasants armed themselves with pitchforks and torches, attacking anything in sight. The city was spiraling into anarchy. Queek's sabotage had worked better than expected. In the heart of the sewers, Queek stood before his warlords, his bloodied axe in hand. Musillon crumbles. Man-things fight each other. Now we strike soon. Yes. Queek takes all. As Queek's jittering hordes prepared for the next stage of their assault, a scout burst into the chamber, hissing, "Knights, many knights, move against peasants now. Musillon burns." Queek's grin widened as he envisioned the chaos above. Yes, perfect. Let them kill each other for Queek. The warlord's laughter echoed through the tunnels as the Skaven prepared to unleash their full fury. Chapter 3. Gnawing at the Heart. Queek crouched in the shadows of a ruined watchtower, his red eyes gleaming as he surveyed the Bretonnian garrison below. The knights were clustered behind their hastily fortified walls, banners of blue and gold fluttering in the foul wind. Even from here, Queek could hear the clinking of their armor and the low murmurs of their prayers. "Shiny armor, shiny fools," Queek muttered, his claws twitching. "They think they are strong. Queek will show them. Break their toys, spill their blood." The Skaven warlord turned to his retinue. Warlock engineers scurried around him, tinkering with devices that pulsed with green warp light. His underlings trembled as they awaited his orders. Queek's voice cut through the tension like the edge of his jagged axe. "Ready, yes. Warp fire burns hot today. We strike now." The assault began with a flash of green light. Warlock engineers unleashed blasts of warp lightning at the garrison's walls, crumbling their already weathered stone. Bretonnian archers returned fire, their arrows whistling through the air and striking down a few of the charging Skaven. Queek didn't flinch. "Forward, you rat fools. Die if you must," Queek watches. The Skaven swarm surged forward, clawed feet scrabbling over the rubble as they flooded into the breach. Bretonnian knights charged to meet them, their lances gleaming in the pale sunlight. The clash was deafening. Queek, at the forefront, relished the chaos. His axe swung in brutal arcs, cleaving through armor, flesh, and bone alike. "Fight, fight. Die, die. Queek is strongest, yes, yes," he roared, the thrill of battle coursing through him. The knights fought valiantly, their discipline and skill far surpassing that of the swarming Skaven. For every knight that fell, a dozen Skaven bodies littered the ground. But for every knight that stood, Queek's warpfire cannons roared, and the man-things burned. The battle raged on, and Queek found himself face to face with a knight clad in ornate armor. The man-thing raised his blade, its edge glinting in the light. "You are nothing to Queek," the warlord hissed. He lunged, his axe clashing against the knight's sword. The two fought fiercely, sparks flying with each blow. Finally, with a guttural snarl, Queek drove his axe into the knight's chest, shattering his breastplate and sending him sprawling. But as Queek looked around, he saw that the battle was taking longer than he'd anticipated. The knights fought with a tenacity that bordered on madness. Even as their comrades fell, they held their ground. Queek snarled in frustration. "Why don't they die? Weak things should know when they are beaten." As the sun dipped below the horizon, the garrison fell. The last of the knights lay dead or dying, their banners trampled into the mud. Queek stood amid the carnage, his chest heaving with exertion. Around him, the surviving Skaven chittered in triumph, dragging off corpses and scavenging weapons. Despite the victory, Queek felt no satisfaction. The knights' stubborn resistance gnawed at him. It wasn't just their skill. No, Queek was certain they were mocking him, daring to defy his supremacy. He kicked the body of a fallen knight, growling, "You think you were better than Queek. You are dead now. Nothing. In the aftermath, the warlock engineers began their work. Deep beneath the ruins of the garrison, they planted warpstone charges and constructed unstable devices designed to undermine Musillon's very foundations. The engineers hissed their prayers to the horned rat, their glowing machinery casting eerie shadows in the tunnels. Queek watched them work, his mood dark. Break the city. Queek takes all, yes. No man-thing or dead thing will stop me." As Queek turned to leave, his red eyes caught a flicker of movement on a distant hill. He froze, narrowing his gaze. There, silhouetted against the dying light, stood a figure in tattered knightly armor. The figure did not move, but its presence sent a chill through Queek's fur. "Who? What?" he snarled, his tail lashing. "Another shiny fool to kill. Come, face Queek." But the figure remained still, its presence unnervingly calm. Then, as the shadows deepened, it turned and vanished into the night. Queek stood there for a moment longer, his claws flexing. Think you scare Queek? No, nothing scares Queek, he growled, though his tail twitched nervously. As he returned to his warbands, he couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was watching. Chapter 4. Echoes of the Damned. The tunnels beneath Musillon stretched endlessly, their walls slick with damp and ancient mold. Queek Headtaker's claws tapped rhythmically against the hilt of his axe as he led his warband deeper into the labyrinth. He hated waiting, hated the silence. But even Queek, for all his bluster, could feel the weight of something wrong in the air. The cold wasn't normal, not the good, damp cold of Skaven burrows, but a deathly chill that made even Queek's fur stand on end. "Dead things," he muttered, baring his teeth. "Think they scare Queek. Fool things. Queek crushes all." Scritch scurried to keep up with his warlord, dragging a bundle of scrolls. Queek. Big trouble. Scouts say man-things, shiny knights. Fight peasants near city's edge. But other things, dead things, come too. Queek rounded on him, claws digging into the underling's shoulder. "What do you mean, dead things? Speak quick, or Queek adds your head to his collection." Scritch quivered. Ghosts, whites, skeletons, things that should not walk. Led by a night thing with glowing armor. Big sword, big trouble. Queek hissed and shoved Scritch aside. Stupid man things can't even stay dead. Fine, let them try to fight Queek. They die again, yes. As Queek's warband pressed further into the sewers, the air grew colder still. Shadows flickered at the edges of their torchlight, and an unnatural silence fell over the Skaven. Queek's ears twitched, his keen instinct sensing danger. Suddenly, the silence shattered. A low moan echoed through the tunnels, followed by the clatter of bones and the rasp of decayed flesh. The undead surged forward. They came from every shadowed crevice, a tide of skeletal warriors and rotting thralls with glowing green eyes. The Skaven recoiled in panic, chittering in terror. Queek roared, swinging his axe in a wide arc that shattered bone and sent undead pieces scattering. Fight, you rat fools. Queek does not run, he bellowed, charging into the fray. The battle was unlike anything Queek had faced before. The undead were relentless, their decayed forms immune to pain and fear. Even as the Skaven overwhelmed them with numbers, more thralls emerged from the darkness, their clawed hands dragging Skaven warriors screaming into the shadows. Queek growled, his muscles straining as he cut down an undead knight wielding a rusted sword. Weak things. You think this stops Queek? He snarled, but even he felt the pressure of the assault. For the first time in what felt like ages, Queek found himself on the defensive. His warriors, panicked and disorganized, were falling back deeper into the sewers, leaving Queek to fend off waves of thralls with only a handful of loyal storm vermin. As the undead tide finally began to thin, Queek's sharp mind raced. This was no random attack. The dead were organized, someone or something was controlling them. He barked at Scritch, who was cowering behind a broken pillar. Tell Queek, what leads these dead things? The night? Yes. Scritch nodded frantically. Why, yes. Ghost Knight. Glowing sword. Some say it was Grail Knight once, but now it hates lives to kill. Queek grinned wickedly. Good. We use this. Dead things hate man things. Yes. Let them fight each other. Weak things all die, and Queek takes all. The warband regrouped in a crumbling chamber, where Queek began plotting. His plan was simple, but effective. Provoke the man-things into fighting the undead, using the chaos to secure more of Musillon's ruins. His warplock engineers would set traps and sabotage both sides, ensuring that neither could gain the upper hand. As Queek barked orders, a scout burst into the chamber, panting heavily. Queek. News, big news. Queek growled, his claws flexing. This better be good, or you die slow. The scout squeaked nervously but pushed on. Warpstone, big deposit, deep beneath city. For a moment, Queek was silent, his tail twitching in anticipation. Then, a gleeful grin spread across his scarred face. Warpstone. Good. All mine. Queek takes it all. As Queek's warband began preparing to exploit this discovery, a deep, bone-chilling laugh echoed through tunnels, reverberating off the ancient stone. Queek's grin faltered for a moment, but he quickly growled, Dead things think they scare Queek. Fools. Let them come. Queek takes all. Still, the shadow of the ghostly Grail Knight lingered, promising a greater challenge to come. Chapter 5. Plague and Prophecy. The fetid air of Musillon stank of rot and death, perfect for Queek Headtaker's plans. In a shadowed chamber deep beneath the city, the warlord stood over a bubbling cauldron of viscous green sludge. Around him, plague priests chanted their pestilent hymns, the acrid scent of their unholy concoctions filling the air. Queek sneered, his tail flicking impatiently. Hurry, slow things, he snapped, baring his teeth. Man things weak already, but Queek wants them weaker. Dead things too, no more rise when Queek strikes. The plague priests hissed in response, bowing low. Yes, great Queek. Plague spread soon. All man things rot, all dead things crumble. Queek grinned, imagining Musillon in chaos, its streets choked with corpses. There was no glory in killing those already broken. but Queek understood the value of winning wars before the battle even began. Above the sewers, the plague priest's work took effect. Musillon's wells and food supplies were poisoned, spreading sickness through the population. The peasants, already starving and desperate, began to collapse in the streets. Even the noble knights, so proud in their gleaming armor, fell victim to the disease. Queek's spies reported men writhing in agony, their faces blistered and their bodies wasting away. But the plague didn't stop there. The undead, mindless as they were, began to falter as well. Rotting flesh decayed faster, skeletons crumbled into piles of brittle bone, and the unholy light in their eyes dimmed. The ghostly Grail Knight, once a commanding figure, now struggled to maintain control of his shambling army. Queek watched from the shadows, his chittering laughter echoing through the tunnels. "See, Queek strongest. Plague breaks all things." Queek's triumph was short-lived. During the chaos, a rival warlord emerged, Nash Blackfang, an ambitious Skaven with an eye on Queek's growing power. Nash's forces attacked without warning, swarming through the tunnels with screeches of betrayal. Queek's warband reeled from the sudden assault, their numbers thinned by the recent battles. "Fool thing. Nash thinks he beats Queek." Queek roared, swinging his axe as he carved through a cluster of Nash's warriors. "Queek will show him no one challenges Queek." The battle raged through the sewers, a blur of blood, fur, and snarling rage. Despite being outnumbered, Queek's superior skill and unrelenting fury turned the tide. He found Jash in the fray, the rival warlord clutching a jagged halberd. Come, Blackfang." Queek hissed, his red eyes blazing. "Queek takes your head for his collection." The duel was savage, claws and weapons striking in a blur. In the end, Queek's axe cleaved through Jash's throat, silencing his challenge. Holding the severed head aloft, Queek turned to his surviving warriors. "See? Queek always wins. Betrayers die." While Queek quelled his internal rivals, Musillon's surviving knights regrouped. Led by a charismatic noble claiming visions from the Lady of the Lake, they rallied what remained of the peasants and knights. Word of this so-called champion spread like wildfire among the man-things, inspiring them to resist. Queek's scouts brought news of the man-thing's bold words. He says the lady guides him, that her light banishes plague, undead, and Skaven. One scout chittered nervously. Queek snarled, smashing his axe into the wall. "Lies. Man-thing gods do nothing." Queek crushes him, shows him the truth of the horned rat. The confrontation came in a ruined village on the outskirts of Musillon. Queek led his forces against the man-things, eager to see this so-called champion crushed beneath his claws. The knights fought fiercely, their leader, a tall man with glowing eyes and a shining sword, at the forefront. Queek charged into the fray, his axe singing as it clashed against the champion's blade. The knight's strength surprised him, and Queek snarled as he felt the sting of the man-thing's weapon slicing across his arm. "Fool thing." Queek hissed, his blood dripping onto the ground. "You think you hurt Queek? Queek kills you slow for this." The knight didn't respond, his movements deliberate and precise. For the first time in a long while, Queek felt the sting of uncertainty. This wasn't just another knight. This man-thing had power, a connection to something greater. Queek growled and lunged again, his blows raining down on the knight. But even as he pressed the attack, a glancing strike from the champion's blade caught Queek's shoulder, sending him stumbling back. Injured and humiliated, Queek roared in fury as his warriors dragged him back into the safety of the tunnels. The knight stood victorious on the field, his sword raised high as he called out to the Lady of the Lake. Queek's tail lashed as he growled, "This man-thing will pay." Queek never loses, never, but in the back of his mind, a sliver of doubt lingered, igniting a rage that promised bloody vengeance. Chapter 6. The Fall of Musillon. Queek's claws dug into the edge of the shattered parapet, his red eyes blazing with anticipation. From his vantage point atop a crumbling sewer grate, he could see the sprawling ruins of Musillon's keep. The walls, once proud and noble, were now blackened with rot and decay. Inside, desperate man-things scurried to prepare their final defenses, while dead things stalked the shadows, their hollow eyes glowing with spectral malice. "All mine, mine," Queek hissed, his tail lashing behind him. Man things and dead things fight, but Queek wins. Queek always wins. Sound. The warlord turned to his assembled warbands, their numbers swelling the tunnels below. Plague priests murmured their pestilent blessings, while warlock engineers calibrated their warp lightning cannons and tinkered with unstable explosives. Queek raised his jagged axe high, his voice echoing through the fetid air. Now, swarm, take all. Musillon falls to Queek." The assault began in a storm of chaos. Skaven poured from every crack and crevice, a tide of fur and claws surging toward the keep. Warp lightning crackled through the air, shattering stone and igniting man-things in bursts of green flame. Above the din, the horns of Bretonnia knights sounded, rallying their defenders. The knights fought valiantly, their lances glinting as they charged into the Skaven horde. Even as they cut down scores of vermin, more surged to take their place. The battle was fierce, with the man-things' cries of desperation mixing with the chittering screeches of the Skaven. But it wasn't just man-things that opposed Queek. From the shadows of the keep, the undead emerged in force. Ghostly knights charged through the melee, their spectral weapons cleaving through Skaven and human alike. Rotting thralls swarmed over the walls, their unholy strength breaking through the knights' ranks. Queek stood amidst the chaos, his axe carving through all in his path. "Fools, weak things," he snarled. "Dead things and shiny things cannot stop Queek. Fight all you like, you still die." The tide of battle shifted when the Bretonnian champion, the so-called Lady's Chosen, joined the fray. With a rallying cry, he led a charge that drove back the Skaven and undead momentarily. At his side, the ghostly Grail Knight emerged, a terrifying specter whose very presence seemed to invigorate the knights. Queek's snarl deepened as he watched the two leaders fight side by side. What is this? Man-things and dead things together. Cowards. Queek will kill you both." The combined might of the champion and the Grail Knight turned the tide, their forces pushing the Skaven back. Queek felt a rare pang of frustration as his warriors hesitated, their numbers faltering against the renewed assault. But Queek had one final gambit. Deep beneath Musillon, the warlock engineers had uncovered a massive warpstone deposit. Queek had ordered them to fashion it into a weapon, a device so powerful it could shatter the foundations of the keep itself. Now was the time to use it. Queek bared his teeth in a savage grin, turning to Scritch. "Telltale engineers, fire the weapon. Blow everything." Scritch hesitated, his tail twitching nervously. But Queek. Weapon not stable. Could destroy. Queek's axe lashed out, severing Scritch's tail. "Do it." Queek commands. The explosion that followed was deafening. A brilliant flash of green light erupted from the depths of the keep, shaking the ground and sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The warpstone device detonated with catastrophic force, collapsing entire sections of the keep and burying defenders and undead alike under tons of rubble. Queek watched the destruction with manic glee. CC. Queek wins. Keep falls, man-things crumble. But the cost was high. The explosion destabilized not only the keep but much of the surrounding area. Sections of Musillon sank into the ground, swallowed by the unstable tunnels below. Even Queek's warband suffered heavy losses as the blast tore through their ranks. As the dust settled, Queek stood atop the ruins, his chest heaving with exertion. Musillon was his. The man-things were broken, their champion missing in the rubble. The undead had dissipated, their spectral leader nowhere to be seen. But the victory was not without its challenges. Whispers of dissent spread through Queek's ranks. Rival warlords grumbled about the cost of the assault, their eyes gleaming with ambition. The survivors of Nash Blackfang's warband slinked in the shadows, plotting their revenge. Queek could feel the weight of treachery pressing down on him. As Queek surveyed the ruined city, a warlock engineer approached nervously, carrying a shard of warpstone, still glowing with unstable energy. Queek, the engineer stammered, warpstone still unstable. Tunnels collapse soon. Queek sneered, his claws twitching. Queek cares not. Musillon is mine. Let tunnels fall, Skaven survive. Queek takes all. Yet, deep down, The warlord knew his hold on Musillon was tenuous, and the danger of rebellion loomed closer with every passing moment. Chapter 7. Dominion and Deceit. The acrid smell of burning rubble and warpstone hung thick in the air as Queek Headtaker prowled through the ruins of Musillon's keep. The city was his, its defenses shattered, its man-things broken, and its dead things scattered. But victory wasn't enough. Queek's tail lashed with irritation. Skaven didn't respect victory, they respected strength. And Quake's strength would have to be shown again and again if he was to keep Musillon in his claws. In the caverns beneath the ruins, rival warlords and underlings whispered and schemed. Queek could hear them, their treachery oozing through the shadows like the stink of decay. One group, remnants of Nash Blackfang's warband, was particularly bold, hoarding supplies and rallying their warriors in defiance of Queek's rule. Queek's eyes narrowed, his claws gripping the haft of his bloodied axe. "Fools things think they challenge Queek," he snarled to himself. "Queek shows them. Fear is stronger than warpstone." Without warning, Queek stormed into their lair, his storm vermin following with screeches of bloodlust. The traders barely had time to react before Queek was upon them. His axe carved through fur and bone, his brutal strikes silencing their leaders' defiant squeals. Those who survived threw themselves at his feet, begging for mercy. Queek grinned savagely, his jagged teeth glinting in the flickering torchlight. No mercy. Queek rules, all who oppose die. He left their corpses impaled on rusty pikes as a warning to others. But the infighting didn't end there. Across the ruins, rival engineers argued over resources. Plague priests bickered over which gods had blessed the victory, and petty chieftains fought over scraps of territory. Queek's fury boiled over. He spent days storming through Musillon, cutting down dissenters, breaking the skulls of rebellious warlords, and reminding the Skaven why he was the true ruler. "See," Queek bellowed, standing atop a pile of mangled bodies. "Queek's strongest. Queek kills all who defy. Now, follow, or die like them." The message was clear. Fear kept the Skaven in line, and Queek reveled in the chaos he created to maintain order. While Queek dealt with his internal foes, reports trickled in about the Bretonnian champion. The man-thing, who had survived the fall of the keep, was seen rallying survivors in the wilderness. Rumors spread that he still bore the blessing of the Lady of the Lake and vowed revenge against the Skaven. Queek spat at the thought. Man-thing thinks he fights Queek again? Fool. Queek is not done with him yet. Still, the champion's survival gnawed at Queek's pride. No one escaped Queek Headtaker's wrath. He ordered his scouts to track the man-thing, their mission clear, find him, kill him, and bring his head back to Queek's collection. With Musillon firmly under Skaven control, Queek turned his attention to the future. The warpstone deposits beneath the city offered limitless potential for war machines and weaponry. Engineers worked tirelessly to extract the precious substance, though the instability of the tunnels often led to disastrous collapses. Queek didn't care. Let tunnels fall. Warpstone is mine. Build more weapons, Queek marches soon. The Ward envisioned Musillon as more than just a prize. It would be a staging ground for future conquests. From this rotting city, Queek would strike deeper into Bretonnia, spreading the horned rat's wool across the man-thing kingdom. Standing atop the ruins of the keep, Queek raised his bloodied axe high, his red eyes blazing with ambition. Around him, the ruins of Musillon teemed with Skaven activity, the city now a seething nest of vermin. Queek declares Musillon as his. Skaven stronghold, yes. Man-things tremble, dead things rot. Queek takes all. But even as the warlord roared his triumph, whispers of dissent echoed in the shadows. Rival Skaven still plotted. The Bretonnian champion remained a threat, and Musillon itself, with its unstable foundations and cursed history, seemed ready to collapse under the weight of Queek's ambition. Chapter 8. The Shadow Throne. Queek Headtaker crouched on a shattered throne in the depths of Musillon's keep, his jagged axe resting across his lap. The once proud fortress, now a crumbling ruin, was filled with the scuttling sounds of Skaven industry. The air shimmered with the green glow of warpstone, its power crackling through crude machinery as warlock engineers toiled to create engines of destruction. Good, good, Queek muttered, his claws tapping the armrest of his throne. Warpstone flows, war machines grow. Man-things tremble. Bretonnia will fall, and Queek will take all. Scritch, now missing an ear and most of his tail, approached nervously, clutching a scroll. Great Queek. Engineers report tunnels spread far, soon ready for invasion. Queek grinned wickedly, his sharp teeth gleaming. Yes, tunnels lead to shiny man-thing cities. Queek's claws will crush them. Soon, Skaven rule all. Beneath the ruined city, the Skaven worked tirelessly. Warlock engineers constructed new weapons infused with warpstone energy. Their creations unstable, but devastating. Tunnels snaked outward from Musillon, spreading the Skaven's influence like a disease into the heart of Bretonnia. Plague priests brewed more pestilence, their cauldrons bubbling with foul concoctions meant to weaken human resistance. Queek strode through these chambers, barking orders and lashing out at any who moved too slowly. Faster. Queek's plans wait for no one. Yes, he growled, his tail lashing impatiently. Warpstone does not sit, it conquers. But even as Queek solidified his hold on Musillon, the city itself seemed to resist. The crumbling ruins groaned under the weight of Skaven tunneling, and unnatural shadows moved through the shattered streets. Queek dismissed the rumors of curses, snapping at any underling foolish enough to bring them up. Queek fears nothing. Curses are for weak things. Musillon is mine. Then, on a night thick with fog and silence, the dead returned. The ghostly Grail Knight, spectral armor glinting in the green glow of warpstone, appeared at the head of a spectral host. With an unearthly wail, they descended upon the Skaven stronghold, striking without warning. The attack was chaos. The ghostly knights passed through walls and barricades as if they were air, their spectral weapons cutting down Skaven who dared to resist. Queek roared as his warriors scattered in panic, their chittering shrieks filling the air. Stand and fight, cowards, Queek bellowed, swinging his axe at a ghostly foe. The blade passed through the spectre harmlessly, and Queek snarled in frustration. The ghostly Grail Knight himself confronted Queek, his ethereal blade slashing through the air. Queek's sharp reflexes saved him from the worst of the strikes, but the weapon grazed him, leaving a burning chill in its wake. You think you beat Queek, he snarled, lunging with all his might. His axe, infused with warpstone energy, struck true, dispersing the spectre in a flash of green light. The remaining ghosts faltered and faded as their leader vanished, but not before delivering a final, chilling message. Musillon is cursed. You will reap only ruin, rat thing. Queek, battered but triumphant, stood atop the ruins of his shattered throne room. Around him, his remaining warriors rallied, their fear replaced with a tentative, chittering excitement. CC. Queek wins. Dead things cannot stop me. Musillon is Queek's. Yes. The warlord raised his axe high, his voice echoing through the ruined city. Man things hear. Musillon is no longer yours. Skaven rule now. Come if you dare. Queek will kill you all. With the ghost defeated and his hold on Musillon secured, Queek turned his attention back to his plans. Warpstone devices hummed in the depths, and new tunnels stretched further into Bretonnia. The city, though cursed and crumbling, now served as a festering wound in the heart of the Man-Thing's kingdom. Queek sat back on his makeshift throne, his red eyes glinting with ambition. The horned rat's rule was clear. Musillon was just the beginning. From here, Queek would spread terror and ruin across Bretonnia, carving his name into history with blood and warpstone.